Hello, my name is Victoria. I'm an occupational therapy student at Guiding Light Academy in the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, and today we will be making 4th of July pinwheels, similar to this one. The materials that you will need for this are construction paper, preferably red, white, and blue, any other kind of paper if you want for decorations. Like this, I have cut out shapes here, you can see them at the bottom, that I'm going to glue on. Or if you don't want to do that, you can do stickers, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Just thinking about materials here. Some markers if you want for decorating, pipe cleaners that if you want as well, tape or glue. I usually try to go with glue first, but tape just as a backup. Scissors, a pencil with an eraser, and a thumbtack. The importance of the eraser is because we'll be sticking the thumbtack in the eraser and we don't want the pokey part to stick out for anybody, so it's really important to have an eraser here. And the last thing is a ruler. So the first step we're going to do is take the construction paper and make it into a square. So we're going to take the short side and fold it over to the long side. We want to make sure that the side is completely straight in line with the long side. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect because it just doesn't, but try your best. Great, so you can leave that folded, and now we're left with a big triangle and a small rectangle. So we're going to cut the rectangle off. If it's easier for you and your kid, you can have them, or do it yourself, trace along the rectangle so that they have a line that they can cut off of, or you can just cut straight like this. So I'm going to do the line, and I'm going to unfold it so it's easier for me to see the line, and I'm going to make small snips along the line. If your child has trouble with scissors, if the parent wants to go ahead and do that, that's totally fine. But if you want to work on some scissors snipping skills, definitely take the opportunity to do that. So when you unfold it, you're left with a square. We're going to fold it in the other direction so that there's a folding crease on the opposite side. So you're going to take the folded corner and the other folded corner and match them up, just like you did the first long diagonal fold. And you're going to press nice along the crease and then open it up. And when you're left with is 4 big triangles. So the next step is to decorate. We want to make sure that we're decorating it however we want, but just try not to do it on the creases. So that you can decorate it on the front and the back so that it can be seen on all sides, as you can see with this one. And that's a little bit of a different pinwheel. It doesn't spin, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So I'm just going to glue some of these pieces of paper on, but if you want, you can get stickers. That's also a really great way to work on some fine motor skills if you don't want to do this with the piece of paper, but also you can just draw on decorations, which I will also be doing, probably on the other side. So this side, I'm going to do most of my gluing. I just did all various sorts of shapes. You can do whatever shapes you want. Squares are easiest, circles are a bit harder, hearts are also hard. So if you want a bit of a challenge, you can do some more complex shapes. You can also just draw on shapes. So if you want to work on that, or you can just color it. It's totally up to you, whatever you and your kid want. So I'm going to use black too, just to spice it up a little bit, and I'm going to draw some stars because stars are a big shape for the 4th of July. And now I'm going to flip it over and decorate on the back. So this is a great chance to work on that dynamic tripod grasp. You can do whatever colors you want. Don't have to do stars. I'm just doing them because I like stars. Stars are fun. So my blue looks a lot like my black on here, but that's okay for me. Stars. Awesome. So now that you're done decorating, woohoo! I'm gonna actually color a little bit more on my fun shapes here. Just to make it a little more colorful. Maybe some dots if you want. Perfect. Now my sides are all decorated. You're going to take the ruler now and you're going to measure in from the corner along the fold 4.5 inches. And that is because I think it makes a really nice shape, such as this one. It's okay if it's not exactly 4.5 inches. You just want it to be the same length on each of the folds. So here I have, if you can see the black mark, that's my 4.5 inches. And this is on a standard sheet of paper, so if you have a smaller piece of paper or a large piece of paper, you're going to have to adjust that as well. And if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments and I will get back to you. So I'm doing all of my marks on each side at 4.5 inches. So now I know exactly where I'm going to cut to. We're going to take our scissors and snip exactly on the crease until we reach the mark. And at the end, you should have 4 cuts. There. So now we're going to take one corner. Each corner has 2 flaps. You're going to only ever fold one of those flaps. So I'm going to do the right side of the flap and fold it over. And then I'm going to glue it to the very center. So if you want, at first, you can put a dot in the center so you know where you're going to be gluing. That's a good visual cue. So I'm going to glue the bottom and then stick it on there. You want to make sure that the corner really overlaps that center because later you'll be putting the thumbtack there. So then you're going to rotate it until the next 2 folds are with you. And you're going to, like I said before, just do the right one. So then I'm going to add another bit of glue and fold it over, making sure it's overlapping. And I'm going to keep the press down because the glue hasn't really dried yet. Same thing again, rotate it to the next corner, right one, add some glue. And if you want, you can just tag team this with your kid because it does require both hands and sometimes that can be pretty challenging. So you can definitely provide assistance here, or if you want to do the gluing part, they can hold it steady. However you guys want to do it. Rotating it one last time and using the right one again to fold it over. So now you should have the pinwheel shape. So my finger's a little stuck because of the glue. So this is where the tape comes in pretty handy if you're having difficulty with it staying from the glue. You can tape it, but I think mine's okay for right now. Next, we're going to take the thumbtack and stick it right in the middle. This is why it's important to have all of them overlapping. And this might be a good chance for the parent to do it because you don't want it to stab your child when you're poking through. But what you have is the thumbtack in the middle, overlapping all of them so that they're all stuck in there just in case the glue doesn't hold. Then you're going to take your pencil and you're going to poke, take the thumbtack, I usually put it down face up so that this is the pokey part, and put it in horizontally so that the thumbtack is poking the eraser and you have a little stem. Look, so now it spins. The last thing that we're gonna do is decorate the pencil. That's what the pipe cleaners are for. So you can just flip it over on the back. I'm gonna do all four at one time, but you don't have to do that. You can do each one individually, however you want. And fold it around the top. This is great for fine motor dexterity. Make sure that thumbtack's really in the eraser but not sticking out. And then fold the pipe cleaners around the pencil and twist around. So I just did blue and white because my pinwheel is red. But this can be easier done if you do it by one pipe cleaner at a time, and you can just do it on the table for more stability. It's up to you how you guys want to do it, but really focusing on that twisting motion, which is important for lots of things like opening jars, opening doors, and whatnot. All right. So make sure you get them nice and tight at the bottom. And there you go, you have your pinwheel. Excellent. So if you don't want to do the spinning, that's totally fine if you don't have a thumbtack. On this one, I just used a large popsicle stick, and I just taped and glued it to the back, and then decorated the popsicle stick part so it doesn't spin, but it still works really well as a nice decoration, something that you can hang up, hold. It's up to you how you want to do that, but then if you want, you can do the spinning one as well. So thank you for watching our video, and I hope you have a great 4th of July.